My people were biologically determined for one purpose alone, to sense the coming of damn fine podcasts. I sense it coming now.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to a Discovery Home Companion, where, we're here for you, your companions to go through your home and steal all your shit, and be your companions for Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, we're going to talk about Discovery. You know that. Okay.
You will never be able to podcast as good as us. Your tongue is too human.
With me as is James Nolan.
Hey guys, I'm meeting you from sunny California here in Silicon Valley. Things are pretty mellow. Things are pretty mellow. I spent all day on the beach, so I'm in the perfect mindset for this.
Okay. We're all chill dudes over here. Like also Hugh Crawford.
Good evening. How are we doing today?
Doing all right.
We're choosing our bliss here, not choosing our pain.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. This episode that we're on tonight is called Choose Your Pain. It's episode 5 of season 1. And just for everybody following along at home, here is the IMDb description. While on a mission, Lorca unexpectedly finds himself in the company of prisoner of war Starfleet Lieutenant Ash Tyler and notorious intergalactic criminal Harry Mudd. And then there's a B story that the IMDb description doesn't B-plot, which is the tardigrade is effed in the B, and they got to figure out a way to travel without
I just want to start this off.
Yeah.
Do we, I want to take a round robin. Do we think this episode was fucking cool or not fucking cool?
I thought... I see what you're doing.
I think this episode was fucking fine.
It's fine. It's fucking fine.
I think it did a fine job, Saru.
Also, could we replace it? Is Saru interchangeable with Michael Scott at times? Like, I like how he, like, as soon as Michael Burnham left that one particular scene, he Googled how to do his job. That seemed like a complete Michael Scott move.
You make me nervous.
But we could get into that a little bit later. But yes, I still don't know what everybody thinks round robin wise of this episode.
Oh, it wasn't fucking awful, or I don't think so.
I don't either.
I liked seeing the crew not hate each other. I think that was a plus. I think we're moving the dial in the right direction overall.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Some of the Lorca stuff, I mean, we turned another card on Lorca today. When he was in the prison, we found out that he is a survivor of a ship that was lost early in the Klingon War.
Exploded
but he
ship.
was the sole survivor? Did I catch that correctly?
Sole survivor.
Yeah, he ejected his ass out and then blew up the whole ship. Now, he says he did it to keep them from being, tortured and shit. I don't know.
Right.
I don't...
You don't buy it?
I don't know.
That's pretty un-Trek-like, isn't it?
Yeah, it is pretty...
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking horrendous, and I can't tell... Again, it goes back to the whole thing. I can't tell what the show is trying to make me feel. But I can't tell if I'm supposed to, once he gives that justification, if that's justified or not.
Yeah.
The main thing on my whole mind on this episode is...
You're starting to shed the California.
No.
Come on, James. Let's just let this California.
I want to get to the most interesting thing in this episode to me.
Oh, it's not that California fire.
No, I'm okay. I'm all good. I'm a loud talker, no matter what's going on with me. No, that's actually not true, as it turns out. But with the captain of the Klingon ship. Was clearly not Loquel or
Laurel. Yeah, I always thought it was, and then I was like, nope, she's got a lot more chin area than
Okay,
Laurel
I can't
did.
tell. That's a problem. But other than that, it seems to me with the previously on deals with Vok and Laurel, she's saying that you need to go and sacrifice all.
I thought we were. Yeah, I was waiting for that too.
Is the dude
Ash
that they save on the ship that's been fucking the Klingon captain? is that Vok?
That's what I don't know, James, since you're out of the penalty box now. If you listen to the last episode.
I did briefly. I think I listened to it all, but I listened to it over while everybody's getting ready, I was in the bathroom listening to it. I'm on family vacation, so things happen episodically.
Sure. And your kids don't need to hear the podcast.
No.
One, they don't care.
True.
So you weren't enraged by us talking without you and
No, that was
talking
cool.
shit behind your back.
No, I'm all cool with
it. If he is Vok, then he's listed as Ash Tyler for the rest of through episode 15.
Yeah.
So we're stuck with Ash Tyler as a character for a while. If he is
also
a bad guy.
Laurel is not coded as a character again until episode 15.
Yeah.
Really?
So we don't see a character that they spent a ton of time setting up last week at all until episode 15. So I think maybe
they've talked up Laurel, like her being in it a lot more, like Mary Chieffo. Like I think maybe they just haven't gotten to the IMDb because from what I've heard from the writers and the producers and everything, they added a lot more. They beefed up her part a lot, they said. So I want to say maybe that the original cast listings may not be the most accurate, especially for the later half of, after the break.
So do we know what Burnface lady Klingon, what her name is? What was her character name?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to...
I'm looking at IMDb for Choose Your Pain. I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I figured it out. I looked at it too before we got on here. Basically, I'm of the mind, are they going to suffer the Jimmy Simpson fate?
Yeah, that's
for West Wing, where their shocking
West
reveal.
West
for the West Wing.
West
Remember
Wing.
how the West Wing was just a robot simulation the whole time, and at the end it was like, wait, time travel shenanigans. This timeline you thought was here, and we all know it.
It turns out that
Fuck you, Aaron Sorkin.
It turns out that Bradley Whitford really was the president. Now,
the entire time. No, my brother Lane that left the voicemail on the last thing texted me during the show, and he's like, all right, I'm feeling pretty vindicated. That's obviously Vok, right? And it's like, yeah, it is.
Okay, so we all think that kid in the prison that was saved, that was fucking the captain, was Vok and wasn't fucking the captain, right?
Well, he may have been fucking the captain because he was a Klingon, and
sure.
She's like,
I don't know. I think that we're supposed to believe, there's supposed to be a sliver of doubt whether they could pull the rug either way on us, at any time.
Honestly, the rug pull for me would be if he were actually the legit Ash Tyler.
It was just some dude.
Yeah.
Okay, because they put it on the previously on. That's the only reason that I thought that is that they put Vok and Laurel talking about him going to the whatever planet on the previously on, which was in no way helpful to understanding the episode unless there's some character shenanigans going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels like they tipped their hand with that. Yeah.
So Bucky with the good hair and Wade, I guess, it turns out that they may be trying to sport a mystery box.
Yep. That's what I'm not alone.
And like West Wing, it looks like
West Wing. Jesus
West
Christ.
I love that West Wing is
the West
I haven't
Coast
watched
is
West Wing, but I'm so mad at it. I don't want to watch another mystery box.
Aaron Sorkin listens to our podcast. He's pulling out his hair right now.
Yes, I hope this is all that he has coming towards him.
Right.
Because there's always been rumors about him in Hollywood, and this would be a bad time to have those rumors over you right now.
Okay.
You can cut that out if you want to.
Oh, no, I don't. No, fuck him. You know what, Aaron Sorkin, call into the show. Defend your legacy. 917-408-3898. We want to hear from you, Aaron Sorkin. We're calling you out.
This is how podcasts get started.
We got a lot of squinty Lieutenant Stamets. I mean, the squinting in this episode.
Oh, he went. His squinting actually was a plot point in the episode. He gives a dirty look and then another dirty look, and then
There's a lot of facial tick plot points in this episode. Do we want to break down at all what happened in it, or are we just like?
I mean, we can kind of go over real quick.
Yeah. So
Lorca gets captured. Yeah,
but I like the scene at the beginning with Lorca and what's her name. Did she have a lisp, or was that just me?
I don't know. She's been she was Dan or Casey. She was Casey's Danny's from Sports Night.
Right.
Speaking of Aaron Sorkin, she was his shrink on like 5 episodes, and she did it for me on that show. She's what, like 15 years older, 20 years older now.
Yeah.
She's still doing okay.
She's fine. I detect she sounded lispy to me a little bit. Which is fine.
She's a different admiral than we're used to seeing on Star Trek. Being female.
Instead of they're flipping it. Instead of the admiral being evil, it's the captain.
Well, and it is. She's playing it. You're right that she's playing it with a different way, and she's playing it with a way that I've seen a lot of women in power now, where she tries to like flirt with them. Not flirt. That's wrong. But she tries to. She's not trying to be one of the guys.
Right.
But when she's dealing with difficult men or men. I mean, yeah, I think that Lorca at least establishes in the difficult men category,
right?
Where you give them a little bit of I'm on your side.
I thought she did a little bit to humanize him a little bit. It's like, look, when they had afterward, he's like, "Why'd you call me out like that?" And she's like, "What? Look, man." She was pretty casual with him, like, "Yeah, you're my friend." Mm-hmm. Like, he has a history. He has been able to forge relationships in the past that weren't like, "Fuck this guy, what an asshole."
Yeah,
I mean, even though she also, calls him an asshole, basically,
and also that's where she let it go that he is looked down upon by the other captains in the fleet.
Right.
She said if they knew about Michael Burnham, that would be one more thing.
Or they do know. Yeah. She even calls out like what we've talked about or not, like whether or not Michael Burnham is responsible for the war. Like, I think we decided she's not, but
yeah.
Even she's like, justifiably or not, people blame her for the war, which makes total sense because she was there and she's a mutineer. And
it doesn't make sense, but again, this show is
it is total.
The show, I think, is like it's not her fault, but like of course everybody's going to see it that way because she was the mutineer at the time when that happened.
I don't know why the show has to have so much fucking opacity about the events of its pilot. I understand why you might want like staff and other captains and shit to not really know all the details. But why does it seems like the show itself is just muddy? I
don't know.
I guess that dead horse, but yet again, this seems to be another area where
I read that as the show saying, "Look, we know it's not her fault, but the optics were bad, so everybody blames her."
That's true. Yeah,
that's the way I read it. Not the show her saying justifiably or not. To me, wasn't saying the listener can do what or the viewer can do whatever they want with it. But her admitting that like look, the war might have happened anyways, but everybody blames her because the optics are pretty bad.
Yeah, she
mutineered and then the war started. It's like, okay, she's the first mutineer. It's her fault. Like, but even before the scene where they have a lunchroom scene with Tilly and Burnham, I did kind of roll my eyes at no, Tilly, it's not you, it's me.
Oh my god,
like,
yeah.
You could have at least. I mean, I blame Sonequa Martin Green for that. Like, you could have at least played that with a little bit tongue in cheek. But come on.
Yeah, I gotta say, I approached this episode where I was like, okay, James, you're pissing everybody off, and you're in this like great space. You're just gonna watch this episode, and you're gonna be gentle to it. Rainn Wilson's in it. You're gonna love it. It's good. It's good. You're gonna be gentle. And then that scene happened, and I was like, "Oh, they're trying me early. They're testing me." And I do think that I kind of scoffed at something you said in the first episode about Sonequa Martin Green. Uh-huh. I'm no longer certain that you're wrong.
What's that?
About her not being particularly good as an actress.
I didn't say that.
Really? I actually think she's one of the least offensive things. I don't
find her offensive at all. I think I've talked more about it off mic than on the podcast.
Oh, maybe.
She's fine, but there's sometimes it's
she said it herself. She doesn't have much to do. She said that in the episode.
Yeah. So I don't want everybody to jump on a beat, but
specifically in that scene with Tilly, I felt like she wasn't matching Tilly's casualness.
Yeah,
and I don't think that it was like a character point.
I think she's fine. I don't get the beef with her at all.
I think she's fine too, but the choice to play the "not you, it's me" totally straight. It's like, come on, have some awareness of what a cliche that is,
and the heightenedness with which she described her her sort of her dream disquiet or whatever. Like I felt like it was pretty.
Yeah.
I felt like she was coming in a little hot on that scene, but it's not normally. It's taken me 5 episodes to find something that I felt that she was. So I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm offering it to you that I think you've seen things in her performance. I'm saying that I might be seeing them too. And there's still things I think she does that's good.
I think she's great in a lot of ways. Sometimes there's things that they're like, I wouldn't have made that choice. But you know what? I'm not the actress performing Michael Burnham.
I mean, I know that your problem is that she's not a white man. And I'm trying to hide that from everybody. But no, I'm just kidding.
Don't out my racism here. No,
I'm trying to get the fans back on my side.
That is not the fans we want, James. That is not the fans we want.
Where are we on our plot recap? This is a good time to.
We're still at the scene, the awkward scene.
Yeah,
Lorca stole.
Okay,
he stole.
Yeah, he got stolen, but he was targeted.
Yeah, he got
like
stolen.
They wanted him on purpose. And then we get to meet Harry Mudd, and then we get to hear about the story of the title of this episode, Choose Your Pain.
Oh, yeah.
The Klingons come in, and they have an agreement on who's going to get the shit beat out of them.
They talk so slow, don't the Klingons? Like everything, even when they're talking English. Choose your pain. But they could save a lot of times if the Klingons talked like Gowron.
Gowron. Oh, I love Gowron.
Yeah, I know. He's so great.
Okay, I'm going to take him. Okay, so let's talk about, this is like a perfect time to talk about Harry Mudd. What do we think of him?
I liked him.
He's
I liked him.
fine. I really didn't feel one way or the other about him. I think that he fits right in with the old Harry Mudd.
Yeah. It wasn't a drastically different turn. It was
wasn't.
a different. It was a. I like Rainn Wilson a lot, so I don't know how different it all is.
Now he's got beef. I guess this whole episode is to set up that he's got beef with Lorca.
Yeah. I'm coming for you, Lorca. Yeah. Did anybody notice the line that I pointed out that you would either cringe or be okay
Boldly
with?
go where no one's gone before.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
I was fine with that. I guess. I guess
if it wasn't such a cliche, but it makes sense.
They're trying something. I don't know. I felt really.
I'm still at the point where if I ever gain any power in Hollywood, and since everybody's getting thrown out, maybe I will. But if I ever gain any power in Hollywood, and you were in this writer's room, maybe don't put that on your resume.
The line.
No, don't put the line that you were in the writer's room for Discovery.
Ooh, ouch.
So I mean, I'm still there.
His monologue at the beginning was a little bit about how he came to be on that ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little long-winded and a little bit performery, but it was fine.
I think that plays with the original Harry Mudd. Is kind of a blowhard. I mean, maybe.
Sure. Like I said, it wasn't out of place.
And Rainn Wilson knows how to sell. I mean,
because that's a flamboyant character.
Yeah, he knows how to be a sort of a weirdo weakling, or like a beta weirdo, or like a faux alpha. I think that's sort of Rainn Wilson's territory where he really, really shines. And so I think he's an actor suited to saying stupid dialogue, or dialogue said by stupid people. Let me say that, not necessarily. Not dialogue that is stupid as written, but stupid, like I'm supposed to be a stupid person pontificating.
Sure, but is Harry Mudd stupid? I think he's crazy, like a fox. He's smart.
Well, obviously he's got some. Obviously he manipulates whatever system it bends to him. Yeah. I mean, he's the first time, and I know a lot was made over like Klingon Trump and all that kind of shit. He's the first Trumpian figure of the show, and I think that even sort of his you're not paying attention to the flyover people speech was even tied into that, and that you guys are so smart and stalwart, and there's a lot of people that resent that about you, and also just to sort of a pinch it for. I think that Rainn Wilson is channeling
you Starfleet and your coastal elites.
Yes, your coastal elites, and I'm the one that's got the message for
I'm an entrepreneur, and all your taxes and burdens are really keeping me down. The comment,
and I'm a scumbag, but I'm a survivor, and I can be a scumbag for. I mean, there's a lot of sort of I think this is the first time that any sort of 2017 has sort of seeped into the show.
Yeah.
And I think they wanted to sell that early on into a backlash of a bunch of Twitter chodes.
Right.
But I think this is the first time that I really feel like they're inhabiting 2017 a little.
The thing with that, it seems like every week we get the same phrase over and over.
Fucking cool.
Last week was threat ganglia. The week before that was mutineer. This week it seems like every time Lorca talked to the other guy in the cell, he called him soldier, as if like we had to be reminded.
Yeah, that's true.
What his position on the Starfleet's role in the galaxy is. Like we know he's gung ho, warrior, but you could call him soldier once, and we get the picture. Like once you know his name, you can call him lieutenant.
Well, I think you're supposed
on your feet, soldier. I'm coming back for you, soldier.
You're
soldier.
supposed to think that he's doing that for a reason.
No, I think you're thinking that you're giving it more credit.
Like what, to weaponize the guy?
Well, I think that to martialize the guy, that Lorca's trying to get him on a war footing instead of a prisoner footing. I think a lot about, and I know that we've talked about it offline, that I recently watched Band of Brothers, but it seems like that was something that the Dick Winters character, what the fuck's the actor's name, that he said that a lot, soldier, to motivate people in frightening situations. And so I wonder, I think they're trying to make him like war, like it's like he's a military captain.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing I've been saying the whole time. He's the war captain. And that's kind of his.
Meanwhile, back on the ship, Saru is trying to go save his captain, and we find out at the same time that the tardigrade is getting worse, and everybody seems to agree that it's getting worse. The doctor agrees. Stamets realized because the doctor's brought in. Stamets believes the situation. And then Michael Burnham brings the situation to Saru, and Saru doesn't give two shits. Burnham, but to Saru, and I thought this was the thing that chaps my ass most about this show so far, is that you have a species that was bred for food, right?
Yes,
basically no better than cattle. Mm-hmm. And whenever you have another species that's basically being used for, a computer, there seems to be some like
an empathy gap. Is what
should have been. Yeah, an empathy gap. I'm surprised that wasn't hit upon.
Well, he's. I think it's like he's trying so hard. He doesn't want to lose a captain. Like
he doesn't want.
I'm not going to be the guy that lose.
Right. I'm not going to lose the captain. He is in a competition, a professional competition, which he's already won because he's not the Star Trek's only mutineer or Federation's only mutineer. So he's already won that competition. But yes, he still doesn't want to lose his captain. I understand that motivates him.
And he's like, look, you might be right about the thing, but and we'll go easy on the thing, but right now we have to get the captain back. He
does doubt himself because he Googles how to do a good job. What's the first thing
I like that. He's like, look, I'm bred to be a coward. Let me correlate this to people that are actually badasses.
Do you guys want to go over that list of captains on a screen real quick?
Yeah, that fan servicey list of captains.
Okay. You know who Robert April is, right?
No.
Robert April is the Starship Enterprise captain before Pike, and before the show Enterprise existed, was canonically considered the first Enterprise captain. And they retconned it, of course, with Jonathan Archer. So his only appearance, he's mentioned in TOS, but he's only
in the menagerie or in the cage.
No. He only
Pike.
Appears.
I know that, but I'm saying maybe
he only appears on the animated series. The only time he's ever the character's ever been on screen is in Ant-Man, and he's voiced by James Dugan.
Of course, he's Doohan.
Doohan. So so
he's on the animated series. Of course, he's voiced by James Doohan.
So you've got the first Enterprise captain on the list of great captains. Then you've got the retcon list because Archer makes the list right underneath him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then you got Matthew Deckard. Now you guys remember him, right? From the Doomsday Machine. It's my favorite episode of Star Trek.
One, yes.
The one I kept on
That's my third favorite episode. But yes.
Yes. And he is a Commodore.
Okay, so and he's still alive at this point.
I swear to God, I hope we get some Matthew Deckard in this. Okay. That would be so cool to me.
Yeah, I saw April and I was like, oh, there's another woman on there. I was like, no.
Philippa is still the only woman on there.
Yeah.
And then you have Christopher Pike, and then you have three Enterprise captains on that list
because we know them.
Deckard and the other two we know.
And the other two we know.
So there's no one on that list that's just like the shows haven't got around to telling you the story of Jim Bob Jethro Bodine.
Yeah,
right.
I was watching it and I was waiting for Garth of Izar to show up on there, and when I didn't see it, I was like, "Oh,
of course it didn't," because Garth of Izar was
interesting.
Garth of Izar was trapped on the Klingon ship.
That's because Garth of Izar was trapped. Yes. Right. So Lorca doesn't even make that list. First of all, I think maybe that has got a double. That was a double reason for that.
Yeah, and of course, maybe the computer knows it's Saru. It's like, I'm going to put Philippa Giorgio on there because this guy.
Oh, you think it's been reading his cookies? Saru's cookies. It knows.
Mark Zuckerberg made the computer program.
It's got an algorithm, man. It knows what he's been searching.
Okay, so I'm going to say that I think that the show has officially created a complicated relationship with Saru and Michael Burnham. Congratulations.
Yeah, successfully too.
I don't know. Yeah, it's successfully complicated.
You don't like it?
I don't know how much I'm like. I don't know. Like, I don't think they've not successfully made me give a shit about it.
I give a shit more about the Saru side of it than I do Michael Burnham's side of it. Like that's what makes her interesting to me.
Well, I gotta admit something right now about Star Trek culture. That I've never given two shits about anybody's career in Star Trek, okay? So every time we talk about Riker maybe getting a new ship, as a viewer, I'm like, shit, he's not going to get a new ship. They're not going to do that. I don't give a shit about anybody's career in Star Trek. I care about the relationships in the story.
Yes.
So, having the career be the crux of the relationship, and that's the career is where the friction comes in, because he admits to his jealousy that he was supposed to learn under her and he never got that chance, and she took that away from him. It was still, it was a little. Well, it was earned, and it is complicated. But me as a viewer, I don't care who.
Well, I mean, I think to say it's just, but career on Star Trek is also family. It's like you got to be mom's favorite.
Sure. Yes, and it worked on that level.
And you were going to go off to college, and then I was going to get your room, basically. And I didn't get that chance because you fucking killed mom, and I'm pissed off about it.
But he got the job, not under Philippa.
Yeah, but he respects Philippa a lot more than he respects Lorca, because Lorca's a dick and doesn't let him in on anything.
So maybe, okay, so...
he would rather be first officer for Philippa Giorgio so much more than Gabriel Lorca. So that's why I'm saying it's more than just the job.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying that, I wish that this scene had made that clearer. Because I was sitting here the whole time, I was thinking, you got the fucking job if it was just about the job, which is all you've talked about.
Yeah.
Not about that you were in love with mom, and mom liked Michael Burnham more.
I think that's implied.
I'm not saying it's not implied. It's just that they spend so much time saying fucking cool 50 times.
That was 30 minutes ago, James.
I know, but they spend so much time on that they don't spend time this relationship is complicated, but I feel like it's like a rocket ship taking off and there's nowhere for me to put my hands on it. I can't get a hold of it to go with it.
I guess. Out of all the relationships on the show, this feels like the one that's had the most time for that.
You're not wrong. I'm saying that they finally have a complicated relationship on the show. I mean, it's 5 episodes, so it's not like
I would counter that it's been complicated before.
Sure, but it's just now it feels that way.
It was always the most enthralling.
Okay, I brought this up on I think a text message, and then it never got to really air in anything we're putting out for people. Is that his threat ganglia? Did I say threat ganglia? Threat ganglia.
Say it about 5 more times. I think people may not pick up on it yet.
His threat ganglia activates subconsciously.
Right.
Because they use it as a trick with the tardigrade. The threat ganglia doesn't go off with the tardigrade. Even though it has killed multiple people, and I believe in last week's episode it had killed Landry already. So
she had it coming.
Yeah, she was stupid. Okay, but he already killed a major officer on the ship. So his threat ganglia didn't come out in its presence, which means to say that there is some subconscious computer program, whatever. There's some subconsciousness that's reaching out to know whether something is a threat or not, and it doesn't respond to the tardigrade. So what I'm saying is, it's not psychosomatic. It's not like I'm nervous.
It can't be tricked. It can't be tricked,
or that I'm personally nervous, or I've got like some sort of psychological mumbo jumbo. I dislike Michael Burnham, and I've made it up in my head to be some fucking thing. So whenever Michael Burnham is around, it's like activated, because he would have surely thought that about the damn tardigrade at that point too, right?
Not necessarily. I think there is something to be said, because Burnham sets it off an awful lot, enough to where he's been triggered by it, to where she...
So I think that we can all actually say that objectively she's objectively setting off his triggers,
I think so.
Not subjectively.
Well,
so there is some danger to her?
I would disagree. I think there is some subjectivity to it. She's been primed to do it, like emotionally. She was, just for having been involved with the mutiny and then with Philippa's death. I feel like there's some extra priming that he was never close to Landry anyways. He didn't see it happen. And because she's so close, I think she's a little more emotionally like open cut wires for him.
She believes that the threat ganglia is objective because she brought him down there in the first place with Ripper.
I think it could be both, because she could be primed to it. Sure, but also it would like sense the aggression from the tardigrade would have set it off. And then also, I mean, it's technobabble basically, so it is whatever they want it to be.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to think, like, is the show trying to tell us that Michael Burnham's really dangerous? And in that same way that it gave it, like, when we get to the ending, like the way it did the last shot of the episode, where the show was trying to tip us off that something had happened.
Right.
And I don't know, is it trying to do that with Michael Burnham?
I think
something's wrong, or that Michael Burnham is dangerous, or that she has a dark side.
I think it's trying to signal to us that she could be, because they're trying to...
like Rey and Kylo Ren in the Last Jedi trailer. So it's supposed to make us wonder, does she have some dark side in her?
Right.
I don't know. Do you not have any thoughts on this threat ganglia nonsense?
I mean, personally, I think that they don't have a concrete rule set up.
Yeah, I mean...
I think it's kind of flimsy and
it's
thin.
set to, like, when they need to insinuate something
right.
emotionally in the plot, they have them come out. They came out more than they've ever come out at one point on the show. When was it? Like, you got to see the gums of the ganglia come out. Like, it was pretty gross.
I didn't, like, maybe the threat ganglia is like the monsters in Paranormal Activity. Like, show them as little as possible and as quickly as possible. Because I was a little bit like, really? That's what they look like.
I thought they looked just like kind of gross enough. Like they were. I'm fine with the threat ganglia.
I couldn't tell. I watched this on my phone.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a 4K thing, or I mean, I guess
for once.
Yeah, finally.
It looked like hard plastic. It looked like it was like bubble glass or something.
It looked like definitely CGI to me, but it's like it's an open thing. Like you could catch a sexual disease if that came in contact with something.
That is considered a bodily secretion.
Yeah. Oh, going way back to the beginning, just when Michael Burnham got stabbed in the boobs in her dream sequence.
Oh, yes.
I was like, whoa. Like, there's already enough nipple clamp jokes on the internet, people. Why are we adding to this?
Yeah, they stabbed her in the boobs, and then later on they did the stabbing.
Stamets. Because, they're figure out this is killing the tardigrade, but humans share DNA with mushrooms, which is, I guess, true. And then they can't, so they're trying to find options that aren't like sentient beings. They're trying not to kill somebody. And then Saru is being the dick, like Data with Captain Jellicoe. Like, no, we have to do the jump now. Can we do the jump? And Stamets is like, well, we can, but we've had an issue with the thing and with the tardigrade. And Saru's like, I don't care, just do it. And he's like, well, okay. And then I guess he cleared the engineering room before he did it because... Yeah,
I think that's right. He was alone in there whenever he did that.
Because they didn't say he was alone. It's just like, something's wrong, and they read his vitals, and they run in there, and they run in to find him surprised. Like, was nobody in the room with him? What? Oh, I guess he kicked everybody out, but everybody had to know that he was going to do something stupid.
Stamets was brave. I think
Oh,
that
yeah.
I thought that was a nice little character like reveal,
Yeah.
like Stamets, like
right.
like we got to. I like anytime we get to see what a character is made out of.
Yeah, and he wasn't going to subject anyone else to that.
Right.
And also, and it goes back to the line in the last episode where he's like, I always wanted to talk to my mushrooms. And he says that he can now because he's going to take the DNA. And so, like, of course, he would be like, if anybody's going to be able to talk to their mushrooms, I want to do it for a lot of reasons. Like, one, it's my research. Two, I don't want anybody else to have to take that risk. And three, I want to talk to my mushrooms.
Yeah.
But
I mean, none of that, like, I guess the whole sort of plot point with it is that it is Burnham subverting Saru again.
well,
Yeah.
yeah,
and again, I'm just like, and I get it. It's one of those
And her
like
undermining him could cost the life of the captain, and that was the
Right.
point. It's like her pesky meddling because of wanting to save the tardigrade could have ended up with the captain's death.
Again, she's doing stuff. Again, she's doing stuff that I don't understand the moral validity to.
To be fair, she argues like we can't do it, and then Saru's like, "Fuck you, I'm the captain now. I'm the captain."
Yeah, he does have he has a Captain Phillips.
He does.
moment.
He's like,
Yes,
"I'm the
he
captain now.
does.
Go to your quarters." And she's like, "I've mutinied once. I'm not gonna do it again." Okay, fine.
Look at me. Yeah.
And he does.
But no, she does. No. But that was the second time. The first time when she went to him with the problems, she really did.
Right.
Subvert him and she did it cleverly by getting the boyfriend of the guy that she really has to convince. I mean, it's manipulative.
Oh, yeah,
It's like if my daughter did it, I would I would be fucking pissed.
Right.
'Cause that's the way my daughter is growing cunningly evil. And no, so I do think that
She does.
she's got a touch of that. And again, it's for the right reasons.
Yeah, well, and then they do it anyways. They take it offline, and he's like, "Well, fuck it, we're gonna do it anyways." And sends her to her room.
Yes.
and they do it anyways, and it kills the tardigrade. So she was right.
How many of us were certain that it was Burnham that injected the tardigrade DNA into herself?
I thought it was gonna be her.
I didn't think it was going to be her.
I thought it
because
was gonna
when
be.
Stamets said we're ready to go, I'm like, oh my god, Stamets did it because he goes.
I thought Stamets went to get her because she was going to say she was on the verge of saying, "I will take the injection."
Right. She would have.
This is what I thought.
Yeah.
They cut to her alone in her room before the
Yeah.
jump, so I knew that wasn't gonna.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case.
I was with you, James. I thought they were going to do that too, and I commend them for at least not doing that because, that would have.
No, I agree. It's better. It's better to build up his bravery than to build up hers at this moment because I don't know. I don't know where they're.
Well, we know what she's made of.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, she'll do whatever. I guess
She'll burn it down if she thinks she's right. I think that's what we know about Michael
Right.
Burnham.
Is it possible that do you guys feel like you understand Michael Burnham
Here we
as
go.
a character?
Yeah.
No.
I feel like
This is totally
yes.
open to me because I'm actually thinking that maybe this is a mental block in myself.
Yeah,
So this might actually go self-revelatory.
You can't make the throw to first. I think I understand her perfectly. She will burn it down if she thinks she's right.
I think
and she's learning not to survive.
Yeah, I think she did burn it down because she thought she was right.
Right.
And
it came at a price.
And she came at a price that humbled her, and now she's
Yes.
trying to figure out her way after doing that, fucking up her entire life, and now she's still being pretty, holding on to her ideals and realizing that the thing is suffering, so she's going out of her way to be a pain in the ass to Saru and Stamets and stuff, but trying to do the right thing. But when push comes to shove, she's obeying orders at least at this point. And
yeah, she went to her room.
Yeah, she sulked about it. But
The problem may be that she's the same kind of horse's ass as me. And so I feel like maybe I'm struggling with it in a way, but I there's something about her that I don't find. I don't know. And I think that I think it's me at this point. And so I'm willing to sort of accept that with this episode.
I do kind of find her the least interesting character in the sense that I find the hero's the least interesting character in a lot of stuff. I too.
We got that android on the bridge that we don't know enough about still.
I'm scared to learn more about her.
That bridge crew looks kind of badass. Every time they cut those,
I like it too.
That bridge crew is going to have me end up reading some of the books, and which I've after 2 years of the Rules of Acquisition, I have yet to do. But I think I might read that David Mack book And the next book is going to be about Gabriel Lorca and Philippa Giorgio at Antis 3 or whatever the planet is, where Kirk almost died because of a fungal outbreak.
It's going to have Kirk in the book.
That's the next. The next week's episode.
No, that's the next novel they're putting out in January.
But we talked over this because wait, did your recordings have a next on? Mine didn't.
I think so. Yeah. Wait.
What did you remember? What did you see?
Mine didn't. Mine didn't have a next on.
Mine didn't have a next on either.
Thought it did. I don't remember what it was.
And the next episode is named Leda or something, which is Leth, which is the character from that fucking episode, right?
Well, it's also like a Greek like myth of like forgetfulness. So
I'm certain it's a character.
Well, it's also like an allusion to like myth about like a forgetfulness, like something they take and then they forget things. So
okay,
it could be a character too. Don't get me wrong, but my point was the second novel that's coming out after with the next phase of the show, episode 10 or whatever, it's a throwback to that Antis 2 or whatever that situation was where Kirk was almost died, and it's an original series episode. It's a fungal outbreak destroys the food supply. So we got fungus. We've got.
But I'm right on that. That episode in the original series had a character named Leth, right?
I have no idea. Maybe you're probably right.
But anyway,
Leth was a human female civilian at the rehab colony on Tantalus 5 in Dagger of the Mind. So it's not.
Does that not involve the?
No.
Okay.
All right. Basically, I mean, they go get Lorca.
Yeah, I guess that I wanted I think that maybe I wanted the episode to be a little bit more Lorca focused.
Yeah.
Well, we did. We did. Turn the cards over on Lorca. We got to revisit his eye problem.
Yeah.
And it was used as a point of torture. Mm-hmm. We got to realize that he is the only sole servant. His past within the Federation is shady. I'm wondering about this Section 31 stuff after this episode a little bit more, I guess. Because we realize that his power to have Michael Burnham on the ship comes from a regular conscription clause in the Federation rules. It doesn't have anything
in times of war.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with spy stuff.
No, yeah, it's a wartime conscription, not like a Section 31 thing.
Right. So, before I thought he had powers and pulled through spy shit.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit more relieved this episode. Like, my Section 31 O-meter is down for this week.
Yeah.
Maybe for the first time since we've started.
But
yeah, it's not at zero by any means. But
not at zero, but it's down a little bit. Yes.
It had flipped up to like orange or red. Now it's like somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
I think we're still at a point. I think this is where I think my frustration with the show maybe matches other people's frustrations with the show. And so we're still at a point, even with rules like this and the way they talk about everything, that it feels different than Star Trek and not in a way that could be corrected through plot.
Yeah.
See,
like it still just feels like not that the tone, not like the way the scenes are shot is darker. It's that these are dark. This is a darker organization.
See, I agree, and then I also disagree. Like, I thought that we did, like we said at the beginning of the podcast, like, oh, people are actually nice to each other again. They're starting to like each other.
Yeah, I agree with that part. Yeah,
and that they're setting because I think the whole, if I trust the writers, which I'm going to try to, but I'm guarded, that their whole thing is, yes, it is dark, please, but bear with us. We're growing towards the light.
Okay, so that makes it seem like that.
And I felt more of that because in this one we had Wilson Cruz and Paul Stamets and everybody except Saru, who's just fixated on getting his captain back, agree until he we can't do this to the tardigrade.
Kill it.
Yeah.
Sentient.
Oh, it's sentient. Yeah. You're right. And then we're just gonna. I think this might be right. Let's push it out into space and hope that doesn't kill it.
Yeah, we'll give it some spore goo and then we'll shoot it out into space.
They packed it at lunch and then sent it back out into space.
This could be exactly. I think this is exactly what it wants, or it could just kill it. I have a hunch. Let's just do it.
And I do like that he said that I only have Lorca's still not a captain, so let me tell you to do this. I like that about Saru.
Yeah.
He was like, he knew that he knows Lorca enough not to give in to his wishes, so he subverted. He knew that Lorca would want to keep it and tinker with it, and so I have this one last minute to get this done before
Right.
before drunken papa's back in the house.
Before our asshole stepdad tells me to keep it. Yeah.
So, okay, but I still think, so you're saying that the show is telling us, all of the creators are telling us, all of the creators and all of the show is telling us that this is some sort of like dark origin that a brighter Star Trek is supposed to like be birthed from.
I think that's what everything I got from it is supposed to happen. Yes.
Okay, but the weirdness of it to me is that Captain Kirk is probably a lieutenant right now.
Sure.
In this military organization. Spock is a second in command. We know that, from timeline. So he's still got the same damn job he does 10 years later.
Even in the Cage, though, they're less optimistic. In the pilot the first pilot that didn't get aired until they started putting that on Netflix and DVDs.
Yeah.
They're coming from a battle. In that episode, they're a little bit less idealistic, even.
But yet we have this. You have the myth of Zefram Cochrane and First Contact. You have the feeling involved, the importance of that specifically the movie First Contact gives to the event First Contact as being this important watershed moment in humanity. Plus, you also have Enterprise.
Right, and we've also, just that one cold open in the first pilot of Philippa Georgiou kind of standing for that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And then shit gets foobarred and they're at war and they're set back a little bit because their whole way of life is threatened.
Yeah, I think we're looking at, Lorca says when we first see him, he's like, back in the days of before everything was, cured, and it looks like we might go back to those times.
So we're supposed to be reading this as a time of
step backwards. Yes.
The idealistic character of the Federation is tempted in the desert to go darker.
If we're going to get political about it, we had 8 years of Obama, which we thought we were on the right track, and now where are we? Shit's looking pretty fucking dark, isn't it?
Foobar again, yes.
Yeah, but
because we can have that idea.
Right, but that taints. You're right, but I choose to let's look at it that way. Let's stay with this for a minute.
Yeah.
I tend to look at that as we got the Obama me. I don't know about you guys. I think you guys, but I'm not accusing you of that. That I believe that I got the Obama era wrong, and it was a darker time period, and that it did give birth to the current dark timeline that we're in now. But no one on Star Trek does that.
Yeah.
They looked at Zefram Cochrane and First Contact, put us on the step towards making everything better.
Well, and
Archer and the Federation.
It did, but then you hit a culture like the Klingons, where their whole culture is.
We had already in Enterprise. He had already established a peace treaty with the Klingons in Enterprise.
Again, I haven't seen it. So that's my cop-out that I'm going to use over and over again.
Jonathan Archer already negotiates a peace settlement.
Yes, and there's been 100 years of uneasy peace with the Klingons that they haven't seen them.
I can't argue with that.
Except somewhere Michael Burnham's family got killed by them. I don't know.
Exactly. Yes. So I'm willing to give it that. But I still don't think that the show... I don't even know if this show judges Lorca. He says something that's pretty fucking horrible. The whole thing about that he blew up his ship, but he wasn't on the ship.
Right.
That's pretty fucking shitty.
No, that's why I want to get back to, is Captain Lorca good at his job?
Well, his whole thing was...
Is he good at being a captain?
Yeah.
But they let him justify that in a way where I felt like the show raised the question, and then the show let him answer it, and then the show...
agreed with his answer.
I can't tell. Did the show let him off?
I think they...
This is a hard thing to talk about because you're talking about what is the show as a sentient thing, but as a collection of writers, is the show judging him for
the point of view? His moral calculus was, I want to save these people that I love from a fate worse than death, because I know what the Klingons will do. They will torture them for years. They're going to wish they were dead, and I'm making an executive decision here to save them from that fate worse than death.
Yeah, I don't know
whether that's right or not. That was a decision.
If he feels bad about it, though,
but why didn't he blow himself up?
I think because he's haunted by it. Yeah, he's also haunted by that decision. I thought was.
But why didn't he blow himself up?
Because maybe he thought that he could do better alive than he would dead.
Yeah, but he doesn't say any of that, so we're inferring.
Well, I
a
mean,
lot,
I think that's inferred when he.
That's also pretty vainglorious too.
Why did he not just commit Harry Carey or something? It's not his.
Why doesn't he go down with his ship like every captain?
Well,
like again, I'm going to cite all naval or all military history ever.
Blow up the damn ship, Jean-Luc.
Yeah, they say it too.
Yeah.
But like at no point in the blow up the ship, Jean-Luc, whenever they go into self-destruct sequence, Jean-Luc Picard never says set up the self-destruct sequence and ready me a shuttle.
Well,
like he never says those two things together.
Well, the point was, I think the angle that they were going with, they do it as a flip in this episode. That's why I kind of, what leads me to think the writers are kind of on his
That's
side.
a problem.
Because Harry Mudd's point of view is like, you didn't go out down with your ship, you're an asshole. And he's like, hey, I didn't go down. Like, my angle wasn't that he pushed the button and left.
I need to rewatch that scene, and I can't.
I need to.
It wasn't like I hit the button and ran away. It was I made the decision to kill them after I was already out of it. Like,
okay, maybe.
Well, I think that I'm sure it's a moment in time that the character will have revisited. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm sure they're building that up.
And I think you're totally fine to argue that that's the wrong call, but the way that it was projected in the show was not that like he ran away and let them and killed them. It was like he had to survive so that he could kill them and save them from this fate worse than death. Which I would argue like he should have let them suffer. Maybe they could have escaped or whatever, but that's not the decision.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not even judging that part of the decision. I'm judging the part that he escaped. But let me do that thing that I do in every one of these podcasts, apparently, which is I compare Star Trek Discovery to something that is totally unfair to compare it to. Okay, so in Vladimir Nabokov's Lolita, which is a first-person book about a guy who is writing and justifying the want and the action of fucking little girls.
Oh, shit.
And he never, at any point in the book...
Didn't Jason Isaacs play Humbert Humbert?
No, that was Jeremy Irons. It's great. Jason Isaac would have torn that motherfucker an asshole. You asshole. He would have been better than Jeremy Irons. But okay, so let's say that book doesn't agree with its first-person narrator.
Sure.
And it is the book, and Vladimir Nabokov is passing judgment on Humbert. And it does it through this. I mean, obviously, I'm not. I'm not being like. I'm saying that like, why can't it be more like Lolita? I'm not saying that, but I'm using that.
What the fuck does Vietnam have to do with anything, Walter?
I'm comparing it to this to say that a show or a text has a way to disagree with its narrators, and I can't tell if this show disagrees with him or not.
Nope.
And I don't think it's making it a question. I just don't know.
I think they're setting him up as a morally suspect guy who came to his decisions for maybe legit reasons. Doesn't mean we have to agree with him.
Okay, so then my other question is, are they doing an Anthony Hopkins WestWing thing where the spoilers for Westworld, whatever. But if you watch the whole show, you think Anthony Hopkins is this duplicitous, evil motherfucker. But it turns out that like he's on the side of the people that you're going to ultimately think are the good guys. That he's ultimately trying to do their work for them. Just in the show just shows him in a really sinister way. Do you think that Lorca's that?
It could be. I'm still waiting to see.
Yeah, there's no easy answer to that.
Yeah.
It bothers me that I can't tell if the show doesn't like Lorca.
I can tell.
Well, I'm trying to be cool this podcast.
I think we've been a lot cooler this podcast. I think I'm on board. Okay. Not trying to attack anybody.
But that is still a critique I have, is that I can't tell that. Maybe it'll ultimately be a strength. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I think we all agree that probably the second season, if they keep talking about a second season of this, which I had never really entertained, not because I thought it would be canceled, but just I first hear about this as an anthology, so I just always sort of, in my mind, thought about it that way.
Right.
But if they do a second season, we're all probably, I mean, who knows, but probably Michael Burnham's the captain, right?
I would love to see. We've talked about like
Captain Saru,
right? Well, I would love if Jason Isaacs stayed the captain, just changed.
What if maybe they found his mirror universe?
No. Like this whole thing, like we're not supposed to be on Jason Isaacs' side. I don't think that's at all what we're supposed to be. I think we're supposed to be able to see his side of it, but we're supposed to be on Michael Burnham's side.
Michael Burnham's side. So you think it might be a difficult captain's show?
Yeah, and she has to make a choice at the end. But what I would like, actually, is...
So that she's Peggy to Lorca's Don Draper.
Right.
Yeah, except...
And if she wants, this could all go away. She doesn't ever have to remember.
It would surprise her how fast it could all go away.
Unlike Peggy, the show is about her and not Don Draper.
Yeah. The show is about Don Draper, not about Peggy. I'll give you that.
And what I would like is, instead of like her having to pull rank and like mutiny against him and that be the right call, what I would like would be, and especially in a second season, but just because I love Jason Isaac so much, would be him to redeem himself in the way that we never get with Goldicott.
I don't even know if that character wants redemption, though. I
don't know if he does now, but we're on a journey and we're closing out the first act, I guess. Or maybe we're in the middle, I don't know. But what would be amazing would be me to see growth where even Lorca came to better idealize the Federation and Starfleet ideals that we all agree are actually the ideals that we want to emulate and what we would like to strive for, not our Gabriel Lorca side.
And we're supposed to think that if he did break bad, he broke bad
when his ship died and he killed them all.
Which is post-pilot, so... He doesn't have like a long
Starfleet must be hard up for captains. If they they gave him a brand new experimental ship and put him in charge of.
I gotta fucking say, I don't know. I don't know whether they're obviously now, because we now have, I think, 3 thoroughgoing mysteries on the show. God, I was Mr. Not Mystery Box. Now I'm counting 3. One of which is what the fuck's wrong with Paul Stamets. That was teased at the end of the episode.
Mirror universe. Look, there's a guy in the mirror. That's obvious.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. You're right. Shit.
Right. An evil guy who gave us an evil look in the mirror and is like on a 15-second lag to walk away.
Okay. At this point in the podcast, this late hour, you've just made me hate this episode.
I'm sorry. I would love it if he's just like tripping balls the whole time because he merged DNA with mushrooms.
So you think that? Oh my god! You're right.
The mirror universe.
The Paul Stamets
came back
through.
Yeah.
Oh my god! You're right.
I will actually give credit to Bucky with the good hair. I saw his tweet. He's like, "Well, that was obviously a lead into the mirror universe." I was like, "Yo."
But wait a minute. That means the mirror universe they have the exact same uniform because he gets he's. I don't know.
Leave it to him to fuck up the mirror universe, I guess.
Oh my god.
Oh no, I'm the one that likes the show.
Oh my god. Okay.
James, you're just reconciling yourself with all this?
There's some definite through the looking glass Alice in Wonderland bullshit with the mirror.
I feel like I've been very hostile. Not directly hostile to our fans, but I've had a hostile position that has made our fans hostile towards me. Trying to calm down here. You're right.
You've had a few on your side.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think that's what they meant, isn't it? Yeah. I thought it was just that he was fucked up in the membrane or whatever, but like, no, he's mirror Paul Stamets, and now he's going to be evil, and like now he's got a boyfriend who can see subtle differences.
Oh.
And so we have so I think something's wrong with Paul since this last jump. He comes to Michael Burnham because they have like my so-called life best friend goes to Michael Burnham, and then, oh my god, you're right. Well, I'm right. You're right.
And Vok is Ash Tyler.
And Vok is that guy. I think. Do we all think that, or am I crazy? I need to I don't know. Is James crazy?
I don't know. I don't know if I think that.
I hope they surprise me without him being.
These are all fluid things for me. I'm not concrete on any of this stuff. You know?
Yeah. No, I'm not.
I don't feel strongly one way or
when
the
I was
other.
confusing the other captain, Mokai Klingon Dream Girl Laurel, I was like, oh, it's obviously Vok because he says the captain's fucking me, and it's like they had a thing. But she was definitely also Mokai.
Well, okay. I wish the show, another way that the show started like not nailing the Klingons, we literally don't know if that was the same actress or not. Yeah. Like, we can't tell if they were supposed to be the same character or not. I can't tell.
I thought so at first, and from the next on.
She's in white, glowy things with the red lipstick coming out of the ribbing. Now, that might just be a lady uniform.
It's like because
they give to everyone.
I think it's Mokai, the House Mokai. I think that's what it is.
You think it's the same? She's of the same house?
The trickster house.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, because they did show the other woman that they showed in the pilot had like some beaded belly dancer shit on her face.
Yeah, she was a leader of a house.
Yeah.
And I like the guard Klingons looked like they were a whole different look too. They had weird kind of beads on their faces, like under their subcutaneous.
They looked very similar to the Kelvin.
Yeah,
they look the most similar to the Kelvin Klingons
like,
to me.
I thought I liked their uniform. Like if you put hair on them, they would look like what we would all think a revamped Klingons still in the old style would look like. If
I'll agree with that. Yeah, so that's that. I mean, I think we now have 3 ongoing mysteries. The other one of which is what the fuck's up with Lorca.
Oh yeah,
and I guess that Saru and Burnham have now gotten a little bit out of their system. Are you right?
Yeah, I think she gave them the telescope, which I liked.
Oh, the telescope. Yeah.
I kind of wish he'd said, "Oh, I grabbed that from her ready room on my way out."
You wanted them to correct a quick mistake.
Yeah, that would have been nice if they had something about that.
Yeah, because I still have to say that was clearly from the wreckage.
Yeah,
because it is all fucked up.
Yeah,
it's all broken and shit.
It was like, come on, man. Yeah, just say, "Oh my God, you got that? I grabbed that from the place and I didn't know where it went."
And it's clearly them not letting Philippa Gregory go as a force.
Yeah. Oh, wait till we get to the mirror universe and she comes back.
Exactly.
They replace her with the mirror. Yeah.
So, but they're definitely not letting her go away. So that character is still.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying she's going to come back alive. I think that there's a lot of different ways they can fungle around with that. Mirror universe being the ugliest, but I do think that they're bringing it up and bringing her up every episode.
Yeah,
as like a guidepost. So I do think that she is still, even dead, she's the angel.
Yeah.
If the show disapproves of Lorca, which I'm not 100% certain of, then Lorca is that. Yeah.
And you know what? I don't trust the IMDb descriptions for not having.
Sure,
because
that's a good point.
It's too early. Yeah,
Shazad Latif. Ash Tyler is listed in 15 episodes.
I think he's Vok. I don't know. I'm going to say it. I think he's Vok.
I'm waiting to be surprised when he's not Vok.
I don't know why you would add something to your previously on that you don't have to.
No.
That was a little bit much, wasn't it?
I think Yumi and Lane, the same thing. I think we're all on board. Like, it's going to be fucking West Wing all over again.
It's going to be the West Wing where we know it's coming episodes before it happens.
And then they think they pulled the rug out under us in episode 15 when they reveal it. The other thing is maybe he learns, if we're leading towards enlightenment, or whatever, maybe Vok lives on the ship long enough to where he does like the Federation by the end, which is pretty cheesy, and I don't know.
Yeah, that would be super cheesy. But we do, I guess we should say that there is a sort of a cheap imitation. This is we think this show has cheap fanboy sentiments, and this is one of them. The Trouble with Tribbles has a fake psych out Klingon who's designed to look like a human.
Right. That's
all of this stuff is sort of floating around in the same sort of, I could see how someone thinks it's cooler than it is.
And that was another one of Lane's predictions from that last voicemail episode we did. I
didn't listen to all of
the
them.
Tribble's going to go off, and that's how we know that this guy is not who he says he is.
God, you're right. Okay, so, and I predicted a little that I thought they were going to put Vok in the thing. So, it just feels like it's happening. We could be wrong, but we're all making these sort of predictions, and it's all...
Yep.
The show isn't making that less hard on us to understand.
Yeah.
And to bring a 5th character on in the 5th episode of a 15-episode season, you're a third of the way through.
Yeah.
Well,
but they kill him off real fast too, with no real stakes.
Yeah, that's true too.
For a second, I thought they were going to kill Stamets, and I was like, seriously?
Well, let's ask this question: do we think Stamets is dead then?
Easy come, easy go.
No, I think he's fine.
I don't think he's dead.
You just said you think he's Mirror Universe.
No, well, I don't know how they're going to sell that, but I think that's a lead into Mirror Universe shenanigans going on. Who knows how they play it out.
That means good Stamets is probably powering an evil Discovery on the other side.
Right, well...
He's got to have a car battery hooked up to his nipples, and he's riding the fungus wave.
We watched Mirror recently. Well, recently. This year.
They could both be there.
I'm not saying he's dead.
The lag in the mirror is different than regular Mirror Universe rules,
But I guess I'm saying that they may have directly aped how Kirk woke up in the Mirror Universe with the way Paul Stamets did in that last shot.
No, it's a transporter
accident.
It
was a transporter accident with lightning.
Yeah, but didn't he look in the mirror though?
No, they just wake up on it, I think.
Oh, and I guess it was like, why do you got a goatee? Was everybody assholes?
Yeah. They're unconscious and they wake up on the mirror Enterprise.
Why is everybody assholes? Yeah.
So next week's episode opens with Paul Stamets waking up and Saru has a goatee.
Right.
Oh my god.
Oh, goateed Saru would be awesome.
Saru's species are like the apex predators of their.
Right.
It's bizarro.
Yeah, his threat ganglia are different. Have a goatee. I don't know.
His threat ganglia have a goatee. Oh, okay, but we don't know because we haven't seen a next on at all.
No.
Like not even like a whatever they want us to show. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
in the original run, the next episode was going to be the last before the break.
Ah, interesting.
And then they added 3 more.
That is interesting.
Yeah. And they finished shooting. They're all done. Oh, we should wrap it up, though. You're right.
Yeah, well, I was just wondering if you guys had any final thoughts or like any loose ends or anything that we.
I guess I'll ask the galaxy fight question again. Would we watch this if it was galaxy fight?
Yeah. I like this one more than the last episode. I did kind of dislike how quickly they threw away the tardigrade. I thought the ethics of we have to kill a thing to make the. I thought that would maybe be why we don't have the spore drive in the original series or anything, but I guess that's not it because we're gonna have human spore drives.
Well, I don't think if this was Galaxy Fight, I don't know. I do have a weakness for breaking out of the enemy prison episodes, which is the original series trope, and it is almost always a 2-man job. So that is accurate.
Right? Do you see the straight up allusion to Hard Time DS9 episode where he's like, "Here, take this food. We don't know when they're going to feed us next."
Yes, that was
straight out of O'Brien Must Suffer.
Yep,
that was.
I think it might have been Line the Line too. Even I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't. I mean, I didn't.
I would probably pass if this was Galaxy Fight.
You're off.
You're off.
If I was, at this point, probably.
Wow. Okay.
There's so much other stuff, like I said last week, but it's Star Trek, so Galaxy Fight might not have a direction that it has to end up at. Star Trek does, so I'm vested because of that.
Okay, so you were vested in last week, but this one was like, oh, it's more of the same.
He said he'd continue watching it if it was free last week.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
This week too. I'm out. If it's Galaxy Fight and I'm paying $6 a month for Galaxy Fight,
no, I'm all out.
Well, yeah,
I'm all out for paying $6 on any fucking app that makes me sit through fucking commercials, like and long 20-minute. Fuck all of this, yeah. But I like this episode better than last week. Mm-hmm. I do.
We're improving,
but I'm not on board. Like, let's say, I was super off last week. I moved up a little.
All right.
But I don't know. I mean, Dwight being on it was kind of a trip. Yeah. But other than that, if it's Mirror, I don't know. I know that there's going to be Mirror Universe. They've told us. But that's a
weak spot for both of you.
They might nail it. But like I said, I didn't want to beat a dead horse, but all of my writer issues are still present.
I would say even more so this one.
I do too. Yeah.
Look, James, it's not you, it's me.
So I think that yes, I think all of my writer issues are the same, if not worse, and I like Jason Isaacs more.
Oh,
I like Jason Isaacs. I like Jason Isaacs, and this show gave me a lot of Jason Isaacs. So
I still think he's the MVP of the show. Yeah. I think my prediction about that
most def, yeah. But I don't think that I think that I took that as a given when they announced he was going to be on the show. So I'm not being surprised by that element.
Right.
Again, another element where I think that I'm starting to see where Anthony Rapp's weirdness is built in character.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little bit more forgiving than I think I was the first episode. But
I like Stamets I think it's an awful lot. I like these characters. I just wish I could see them in situations where they don't hate each other's guts more.
Yeah. Well, you got that this week.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I got a little bit. It was nice to see them on the same page. If they were all if they were all backbiting and sniping at each other, I probably would have wanted to throw this episode in the sea. But this one was a nice reprieve. Yeah. And that bridge crew looks badass. I really like the bridge crew.
I like the bridge crew too. I'm nervous that they're building a very visible reveal.
Yeah, like if they don't show him at the House of Mokai with the matriarchs, Are we supposed to be surprised when that turns out to be Vok? When they say, "Oh, I'm going to this place," and then they don't show it, and he doesn't show up for 10 episodes? They could show it,
but we, like Westworld, we don't know at what point in time the scenes we actually see take place.
But not only that, but can we just point this out that like them kidnapping Lorca had no consequential part of the plot other than
then they were just sending a
because it was a targeted account.
They sought him out and they did nothing with him.
Well, they tried to, and then he just escaped. But
they tortured him.
They tortured
for
him.
information.
Well, yeah, but they tortured. But nothing about the jump drive. Nothing,
because he has the only ship in the galaxy that can.
He escaped before they got their results. But you're right. Yeah, plot wise, why do you do that?
Well, they did it for a reason.
You slip him the Trojan horse. You slip him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I mean, I see why they would do it. The slip in the Trojan horse, but they targeted him for a very legitimate story reason.
Yeah, because his ship.
Because he has the only ship in the galaxy.
That's fucking their shit up. Yeah.
Yeah.
From a meeting where they're like, you got to back off because
I know that like 1,000 fans are like we're gonna get like 5 calls saying that like we're supposed to believe the Klingons are these tough badass motherfuckers, but like 2 dudes, one of a blind dude and like a broken dude.
yeah. Lane and Courtney are not going to be happy with. The Klingons are still pretty big.
They got off the fucking boat. They got off the boat, and there was 5 guys. Like it's both.
All you need is one disruptor, and then you can smoke motherfuckers. I think that's what we learned.
Oh, and I like the disruptors are just like poof guns.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that I really like that.
That makes sense.
That's not bad. That's cool.
Yeah.
But they couldn't catch him like escaping the ship. This doesn't seem very badass to me.
Yeah. Well, it's just like that Orville episode. Oh shit! If we're all caught up on the Orville,
I haven't seen the last episode.
Okay, well,
but it's not
snap.
The Orville's not an episode that like I give a fuck about that you spoil.
Yeah, we don't get so mad at all the plot holes in the Orville. What the fuck, guys?
You're right.
Because the Orville's tight as shit.
But anyway. There's so many more plot holes of like them just being dumbasses and stupid. But it's because it's I give it a pass too because it's a dumb comedy and I don't hold it to this.
We could cut this out.
That's a whole other podcast. Like, I thought
that's a whole other.
Orville is actually.
I guarantee you, the next podcast starts with me having watched this episode and his score settling because I have no idea. I don't know.
All right, but this ain't the podcast for it.
We gotta wrap this bitch up. Boys.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this up. So this is better. It's still not good. But I said it nicer, and we didn't argue.
Right. I'm all yelled out. I'm not. I just don't have the strength to fight with you anymore, James.
Jason Isaacs is great. He's a great actor, and it's great to watch Jason Isaacs be Jason Isaacs.
All right.
And Saru and Michael Burnham are now officially a complicated relationship that could be interesting or not. I don't know.
I'm going to say
they don't forget about it.
Yeah.
What?
So we've spoken enough about this episode. You know how we feel about it. Let us know about how you feel about it. Give us a call. We put out these extra little episodes often enough. You can go listen to a few of them where we will take your feedback and share with us about how you feel about what we're doing, about how do you wish that me and James were at each other's throat more, that kind of.
We can make that happen.
Yeah, we can do that for you. 917-408-3898. Give us a call. Tell us what you think about Discovery, or send us a audio file under 3 minutes, preferably, at rulesofacquisitionpodcast@gmail.com. Podcast we use for our other Star Trek podcast on DS9, The Rules of Acquisition.
All right.
And Patreon.
Yes.
We have a lot of fun over there. We talk a lot of Star Trek stuff, and a lot, it's really turning into a great little community over there.
Yeah.
At patreon.com/kickersofelves.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us this week for Discovery Home Companion. For James, Wade, and myself, thanks a lot. 3 to beam out.
Subscribe to us on iTunes or Stitcher or Caster or Fuckcast or Podsucker. Review us on iTunes. Also grab a bit of fame for yourself by calling us at 917-408-3898 and leaving us a message. We play that shit on air. Or email us at rulesofacquisitionpodcast@gmail.com. Also, listen to our Deep Space Nine podcast Rules of Acquisition. It is pretty amazing, but you may not yet be ready for its awesome amazingness. Assess your personal awesomeness appropriately.